Shalom, shalom. I do want to start off this lesson by saying all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, for giving the opportunity to do a lesson today. I do want to give double honor to the elders and apostle of Great Millstone for teaching the truth by using precepts upon precepts and line upon line. This lesson I do want to get into today is about prophecy. And this prophecy is about Isaiah 4 and 1. All right. It talks about how in Jacob trouble, we're about to enter a time where basically, you know, the elect men, the prophets, men, the Lord that has been, laboring in his truth, and other men out there too, is gonna get seven women. All right, and seven goes in completion. So basically, a lot of you men out there are gonna receive multiple wives. This is gonna be we're gonna enter hard times where basically woman is gonna seek out for safety. They're going to seek out for a refuge, a place to be okay. All right, and right now, and it's showing because a lot of women out there are actually getting interested in brothers like that. All right, some brothers already got two wives. Some of them already got three. Some of them already got woman come up to them, interest in them, and many more. All right. And now there's some brothers out there that's not happening to yet, obviously. But I remember from GMS Miami, they will always say that the Lord deals with gradualism. He deals with stuff to coming in slowly but surely. And when it comes, it comes in with full flood. It comes in full force. All right. That's how Yahweh Shemashai deal with it. Just like prophecy. Just like World War III. This World War III been building up for years, for months. And what happened? Conflict started popping off left and right. All right, the same concept for the one man shall take order for seven wives. It's just like that, you know. It was gonna be all hell breaking loose. People's gonna be crazy, and then what's gonna happen? A woman's gonna start seeking out the man of the Lord for safety because they know in these days the only way you're gonna be saved is through the man of the Lord. All right, through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And these women know that they need safety when all hell break loose. Or who's gonna protect them from strange apparitions? Who's gonna protect them from not starving to death? Who's gonna protect them from stability to have them a stable mindset? It's gonna be man of the Lord. Everybody else in this world, they don't know what's going on. They don't have the wisdom and knowledge Yahweh Shemashai. So they're gonna be so confused. So we're entering a time of Isaiah 4 and 1. We're into that time where woman is gonna be gathering up upon that elect men. And it's going to be chaotic. It's gonna be that bad. So I want to read Isaiah 4 and 1 as usual. And in that day, everyone shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, or their wickedness, their sins. All right, because we're going to enter some bad times. And if women out there don't have the men of the Lord with them, they're basically stranded out there stranded in the streets. All right, we're entering some serious times. A time where basically food shortage is gonna come to light. We're entering times where basically um sedition and man is gonna come to life. You know, the dollar's gonna crash. World War III is gonna get worse and worse. Where a lot of men out there is gonna be drafted and be killed out there. Other men's gonna be out there being put to prison because they're not trying to go to war anymore. A lot of people out there is gonna be in a bad predicament, especially the woman, and they're gonna be seeking out for help. So let's grab Jeremiah 30 verse 1. Let's start off verse 1. It says this, and the word came to Jeremiah from the Lord Yahweh Bashimashai, saying, thus speaketh the Lord Yahweh Bashimashai of Israel, saying, write all these words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latino and Americans, and I will cause them to return to the land that I have gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. All right, so that basically is going to be a time where Yahweh Shemashai is going to bring back Israel, and he's doing that right now. All right, starting first and foremost, the elect, 144,000. Or the man of the Lord that's being woken up out of the deep sleep and prophesying the downfall of America. All right. Yahweh Shema Shai is collecting those elect. All right. Verse 4, and these are the words the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail? All face are turned into pale, and all face are turned into paleness. All right, so so basically describing a time of trouble, a time of hell, of anguish, where basically men out there, grown men, all right, and you all see grown men out there, are they're being scared to death, paleness, having no clue what to do. And that's the times we're about to get into. We're gonna get into a time where everybody's gonna be clueless, everybody's gonna be caught off guard, everybody's gonna be catching hell. Why? Because Yahweh Shema Shai is going to start judging a lot of people out there in the world, especially in America. You're going to see famine. You're going to see viruses, sedition of man, civil war, people killing one another. It's going to be that chaotic, and man is going to be scared. So, what do you think a woman's going to do in those days when they see a worldly man scared? They're going to seek out the man of the Lord. Because the only people that's not going to be scared in these days, that's not going to be frightened, or that knows what's going on, is the men of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be stability of that time. Strength and salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. The fact that the man of the Lord has the wisdom and knowledge to keep him stable is gonna be a whole treasure in those days, because the other worldly men, they don't have the wisdom knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai. So they don't have that what you want to call it. They don't have that stability. They don't have that safety net. They don't have that confidence, because they don't really know what's going on. And when all hell break loose, they're not gonna give that good protection to the what's gonna call it, to their loved ones, to the wives, because they didn't they what what life do they have? Or what type of protection and confidence do they have? They have no faith. So they're entering. They're gonna be in a basically a bad predicament where a woman's gonna try to seek out a man with confidence, with faith, to know that everything's gonna be okay, to know that everything's gonna be all right. And it's gonna get closer and closer day by day. And there's already women out there that's doing it because they see the trouble coming at hand. They see that everything's going bad. So a lot of women is going out for safety. They're seeking out for safety, and they're all realizing that what the man of the Lord is the best option. They're realizing it. Henceforth, why Isaiah 41 says what? And in that day, everyone shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own April. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach, to take away, to save us from the things that's about to come to pass. Because, if we're not under you, we're screwed. That's the mentality that they're going to have. All right, because in those days, what happened? Let's go to back to Jeremiah 30, verse 6 says what? Ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all face are turned into paleness. They're being scared because all the wickedness and all the woes that's happening in the times we're about to get into. Verse 7, alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who is the he? The elect men. And the woman out there, they're gonna look for that elect men. They're gonna look for it. And in those days, it's gonna be chaotic too, because the man's gonna be picking and choosing which one he wants and which one he doesn't want. It's that's how it's gonna be. Because a lot of you women out there have been prideful. All right, you've been scoffing, you've been prideful, you've been playing around, you've been doing too much, you've been you know kind of been a scorn to a lot of men out there. The elect man's gonna see that through the spirit, and they're gonna reject you in those days. All right, the pride is gonna be destroyed in those. A lot of you women out there, you're gonna be trying to seek out the man of the Lord, thinking that you're safe, and you're gonna be denied. That's gonna happen too. you know, we're entering that time where it's going to be pure judgment, and a lot of you women out there is gonna start seeking out the man of the Lord for that protection, because it's going to be that bad. Matter of fact, if you go to the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1, even tells you how bad it's going to be. Michael the archangel got to come in and help Yahushai to deliver the elect, because it's going to be that bad. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 says, what? And in that time shall Michael Stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So it's gonna be so bad to the point where Michael the archangel gotta come in and basically gotta help Yahushua to deliver the elect. Because it's gonna be that bad. It's going to be that bad. It's gonna be that chaotic. It's gonna be that chaotic. And a woman is gonna, what are women gonna do? They're gonna seek out the man of the Lord. They're gonna seek out the man of the Lord. They're going to come in and you know and plead their cause to the man of the Lord to be protected because it's gonna be that bad. All right, and you guys know women love food. There's not gonna be no food in the shelves very soon. There's that prophecy. Second Esdras, 6 verse 22 says what? It says, "Suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." So your full storehouses, your your Walmart, Walgreens, Publix, you know, BJ's. What's that other Walmart brand that they have, but they sell full packs? I already forgot what's their name, but them too, they're gonna be out of stock. Why? Because there's no gas. Since there's no gas, there's no fuel to transfer one resource to another location. So it's gonna be chaotic. And the only people that's gonna be fed and protected in those days is the men of the Lord, because Yahweh Shemashai is gonna protect in those days. Why? Because they have kept the word of his patience. He will keep them from the hour of temptation. They're the elect man is basically having he's gonna have plot armor in those days. That's how it's going to be. And it's gonna be and a lot, like I said, Isaiah 4:1. A lot of you women out there is gonna start seek out the man of the Lord, and you're gonna try ask for his favor. And in those days, a lot of men out there is gonna reject a lot of women. A lot of men's gonna reject a lot of women. I remember GS Miami. He said that it's gonna be too much women to the point where you gotta grab a stick and start smacking them off your off your face, off your off of you, because they just too crazy. You gotta start smacking them. You gotta start whack whack. Like, get off of me, get off, get away. you know, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be overwhelming because there's gonna be a lot of women out there that's gonna be seeking for help, and a lot of y'all are not gonna be saved. A lot of y'all is not gonna be saved. You know, a hundred on 1/3 of Israel is gonna be delivered. Yeah, and that's a lot of Jake. But well, that's a lot. But if you compare that to the whole nation, that's actually pretty small. Because Jake is big. Jake is, you know, Jake is the sand of the sea. That's a lot. But only 1/3 of it is gonna be delivered. That's that's insane. That's insane. And that's how it's going to be. And we're coming up to the time where Isaiah 41 is gonna come to life. It's gonna come to light. To be honest with you, it's gonna be a humbling time for you women, because you've been prideful, trying to pick and choose, being like, oh, he's disgusting, he's that, he's weird. You're gonna have to suck that up. You gotta actually just shut up about that. That culture about Instagram, all that thing is gonna be cut off. It's really gonna be cut off. Um, damn, I really want to grab another scripture. We are talking about Isaiah 4:1, so let's go to Isaiah 3. Um, I want to go to the last scriptures because Isaiah 4:1 comes after the fact of this. So let's go to Isaiah 3. Let's go to verse 24. It says this. If you read up a verse, I believe starting at verse 16, that talks about the woman of Israel, because you women been prideful for many years, many years. To be honest with you, it's kind of surprising how you guys haven't really humbled yourself yet. But Yahweh Shemashai got to do his thing. Isaiah 3 verse 16. I want to go straight to the point though. No, let's go verse 16. Let's do it. Isaiah 3, verse 16. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh Shemashai saith, because the daughter of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, walking and menacing as they go, and making a twinkling with their feet. Basically, they walk pridefully and cocky, and they always walk around thinking that they're they're better than everybody else. They got that pride look in them, and we all know that woman does that. It's not no a secret. It's something that we all don't know. We see it 24/7. All right, if you go outside, you could tell. Verse 17, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab a crown of the head of the daughter of Zion, and the Lord Yahweh Shema discovered thy secret part. So basically, he already done that. All right, that's why a lot of you, Negro woman, you black, the Jamaican, the Haitian, you guys have short hair. Some of y'all don't even have hair anymore because that's a curse from Yahweh Shema Shah because of your pridefulness. All right, some of you women out there got diseases that's not curable. That's a curse from Yahweh Shema Shah because of your wickedness. All right, verse 18. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their twinkling ornaments about their feet and their cows and their round tires like the moon, the chain and the bracelets and the mufflers and the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tape and the tablets and the earrings and the rings and the nose jewels and the changeable suits of April and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins and the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. So basically, in these days, about to get into, you guys about to be stripped away from everything. All right, and there's nothing new under the sun. The same thing that Yahweh Shema Shai did in the old times, he can do the same thing again this time. And a lot of these things you women pride yourself about. You pride about your bonnets, your hair, your nails, your beauty. All that's gonna be stripped away from you. You basically are a lot of you about to be humbled. you're gonna be you're gonna be in a humble state. It's gonna be sad for you. Funky too. Because without that period pad, you're gonna be stank. Y'all gonna be stank. Y'all diet is not good. It says the glass and the fine linen and the hood and the veil, and it shall come to pass, and instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. And a lot of you women already stink in this day and age. All right, there's already pads, there's already perfume, there's already washing materials, and y'all still stink. That's a curse. The most Yahweh Shema Shah put a curse upon you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latino Native Americans. He put a curse on you women because y'all been walking pridefully, and it's gonna get worse over time because everything's gonna be stripped away from you. Now you're not gonna have no cleaning supplies. It's going to be bad for you women out there. And instead of a girdle or rent, and instead of a well set hair, baldness, instead of a stomacher or girding of sackcloth or burning instead of beauty. Basically, you're gonna be looking ugly. A lot of you Jake look ugly. A lot of you women out of shape. You guys are obese. That's a curse from Yahweh Shemashai. Having a stomach coming out your belly, looking like you looking weird. But that's a curse. Verse 25, the man shall fall by the sword and die mighty men in war. So you went out there that has men, they're finna fall by the sword. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she be and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Let's go to Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, 7 shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread or our own April. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. To take away from the reproach that's about to come to pass. Because it's gonna get worse to the point where all of the things that you women have that made you so great or made you so comfortable is gonna be taken away from you, and it's gonna be so bad to the point where you're gonna humble yourself and you're gonna seek out the men of the Lord. You're gonna seek out the men to help you, to take care of you, to take away the reproach, because it's gonna be that bad. And guess what? A lot of you women out there that's been prideful is going to get rejected. That's just the honest truth. A lot of you women out there that's been prideful, you're going to get rejected. Isaiah 401. And it's gonna be a bad time, man. A bad time. It's gonna be a bad time. But that's how I want to get into today. Lord, you edified by this lesson. I do want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakodah, for getting the opportunity to do a lesson today. I do want to give double honors to the elders and Apostle Great Millstone for teaching the truth by using precept upon precepts and line upon line. Shalom.